Hello, welcome back to In Pursuit 360. Today is going to be the first episode of Off the Cuff. And Off the Cuff today is going to be talking about leadership and their responsibilities. All right, here we go. Off the cuff. This is going to be something that could be possibly something law enforcement related or may not necessarily be law enforcement related. It's just a general rant based on anything that's going on in my life or the media or just any news story or something that I may have heard about or just something that crosses my mind. So it's a rant, off the cuff. So let's talk about leadership and basic responsibilities of leadership, or those people that are put in a supervisory position. So the number one thing everybody thinks about is leaders or supervisors are there to enforce company policy or the company rules or the company directives, or they're there for the company. Well, in some ways, that's true. They are kind of there for the company. But you need to have a complete and total understanding of what all that encompasses. So the whole idea is to make sure that the company is successful, or that the company achieves its goals, or that the mission is completed. Well, no company, no supervisor is able to do a job or complete a mission or obtain their goals strictly on their own. It's all about the people. The people, the workers, the officers on the street, the security officers at the post, the cashiers that work the registers, the stockers that stock the shelves. They're the ones that make everything work. They're the key to any success of any industry, any business, anywhere. And leadership, or leaders, they're actually not leaders, supervisors that don't understand this concept will always fail. They will always fail. They do not understand that it is the folks that are working under them that are the key to their success. You can have all the greatest ideas in the world, but if you can't get your folks on board and take care of them, key word, take care of them, then you're not going to be successful at all. I don't care what your ideas are. An example, when I was with the Pentagon Police, we had an officer who was in training who possibly they thought may have tested positive for tuberculosis, highly contagious. I hit the ground running. I sent him home. As soon as I heard that, he went home. I actually got questioned, well, did you send him home or did he ask to go home? I said, I sent him home. And he goes, well, we may have to pay him now. I said, I don't care if we got to pay him or not. I got the rest of these officers here that I need to know, are they okay? If he's possibly positive for TB, he got to get out of here. So, and we need to pay him until we figure out where this all started from or where it came from or how all that works out. I don't care how it works out. My responsibility as the supervisor was to get him out and to get my other officers or my field trainers away from him. So that's what we did. And then I immediately started questioning command staff. Hey, do we need to get our other guys tested? What about the guys he was in training with? What about the other field training officers? Anybody else that he might have been exposed to out on the floor? What kind of notifications do we need to make? And they're all like, oh, well, I was like, you need to find out. We got to get going on this, because if he spread it to 2 people and we don't catch it and say something right away, then they can spread it to 2 more people each, and it just multiplies and snowballs. So my immediate response was for that. And then when the trainee went home and he was going to the doctors and waiting for test results and stuff like that, I called him every day. I called him every day to see how he was doing. Do you need anything? We're here for you. Call me if you need anything. Call me if anything changes. So finally, he ended up getting his results back, and he called and says, hey, came back negative. I'm like, okay, you need to get a note from the doctor saying you're negative and you can come back to work. And he was out for a couple more days because he was sick. That's what kind of started this whole thing anyway. And yeah, I did not call him after that, but he came back in a few days. Once I knew that he was okay, then no, I did not call him every day. If you have somebody that goes out because they have a cold and they're out for 3 days, no, you do not need to call them every day and check on them. But when it's something big, when something big comes up, you need to check on your people. You need to have supervisors that are going to keep tabs on you and make sure you're okay. The job of the supervisor, yes, is to make sure that the company or industry or whatever is reaching its mission or its goals. But you can only do that if you properly take care of your people. That's your job as a supervisor. As a leader will always take care of their people. And taking care of your people and taking care of the corporate thing, there's a balance there, right? So yeah, you need to take care of the corporate stuff, but you got to take care of your people. Are you willing, if your people mess up and they do the right thing for the right reason, but it wasn't quite in line with the rules, are you willing to stand up to the corporate side, or are you going to go like this and hang your people out to dry? So it's always about your people. Morale will be affected. So if you've watched my other videos, you know that I am currently on a 14-day quarantine. I'm on day 4. Day 4, yay! Only 10 more to go. I'm on day 4 of my quarantine, and the only person that has called to check on me is a lieutenant who's also on quarantine, who was involved in the same incident I was. I haven't heard from anybody else. Nobody's called to check on me. Nobody called to check on him. The individual that the medical was all about to begin with, who ended up in the hospital, tested positive with other medical issues, nobody called and checked on him either. Leadership, supervision, take care of your people. Let them know you care. Because if they think you don't care, they're not going to care about you, and they're not going to care about your mission, and they're not going to care about the company. You have to take care of your people. You have to let them know that you're there for them and you'll do anything you can for them. The lieutenant that called me that can't do anything for me called me like the first 3 days in a row asking how I was doing and was giving me updates about the guy that was in the hospital. So he's quarantined at home and he's checking on people that have to stay home in this quarantine where nobody else is. Nobody. And if we reach out to somebody or say something, we're going to end up getting in trouble for stepping outside the bounds, skipping the chain of command. You know what? Then take care of your people and you don't have to worry about your employees skipping the chain of command and going above your head. So, this is Off the Cuff, In Pursuit 360. Subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button. Thumbs up. You know, the little thumbs up, the blue thing down at the bottom somewhere. Yeah. Leave me some comments. There'll be more Off the Cuff and even more In Pursuit 360 coming up. Y'all take care of yourselves and be safe out there.